Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I just want to say to all of my subscribers that are in the Gulf region to please be careful and be safe. You know, it is no joke when a hurricane jumps up to a category 4, and that's what Laura is now. And they are also reporting that the surge that's coming from this thing is unsurvivable. 20 feet, which means everything is going to be underwater. Everything is going to be under a lot of water. I lived through one hurricane, and it was one hurricane too many as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not looking forward to the weekend because remnants of this storm is expected to reach my state by Saturday. And they already are telling us to get ready for the heavy downpour of rain and wind. So we're getting warned ahead of Saturday. So this is the Boston Globe, August 26, 2020, and this was just updated an hour ago. Laura strengthened Wednesday into a menacing Category 4 hurricane, raising fears of a 20-foot storm surge that forecasters said would be unsurvivable and capable of sinking entire communities. Authorities implored coastal residents of Texas and Louisiana to evacuate and worried that not enough had fled. Well, I think look, this thing just raised up to a Category 4 in less than 24 hours. Now, this time yesterday, I heard it was a 1. And when I woke up this morning, it was a 3. And now it's a 4. So this went pretty quickly. And remember, y'all, they may be concerned that a lot of people didn't flee. A lot of people are not working. They don't have money to flee. Okay, so they're saying that the National Hurricane Center put out a tweet. Hashtag Laura is now an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane with maximum winds of 140 miles an hour. Little time remains to protect life and property before water levels begin to rise and winds increase in the warning areas, hurricane.gov. So they put this out August 26, 2020 at 1:51 p.m. The hurricane grew nearly 70% in power in just 24 hours to the size the National Hurricane Center called extremely dangerous. Drawing energy from the warm Gulf of Mexico waters, the system was on track to arrive late Wednesday or early Thursday as the most powerful hurricane to strike the U.S. so far this year. Okay. It looks like it's in full beast mode. The University of Miami hurricane researcher Brian McNulty, which is not what you want to see if you're in its way. One major Louisiana highway already had standing water as Laura outer bands moved ashore. Winds began picking up. Shoppers rushed into a grocery store in low-lying areas, filling carts with chips and beer. What? Chips and beer. Okay. Okay, so this was just one shopper. I'm just going to skip over that. Okay, with time running out, both the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, and Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards expressed concern that not enough coastal residents were taking dire predictions seriously. Well, what do you want them to do? What do you want these people to do? You know, if you knew they were going to have a problem getting out and many of them are unemployed, why didn't you try to provide transportation? Wow. Everybody can't just pick up and move like that. In Lake Charles, National Guard members drove school buses around neighborhoods offering to pick up families. There you go. Abbott warned that families who do not get out of harm's way could be cut off from help long after the storm makes landfall overnight. Yeah, you know what people do, y'all? This is a big notorious thing that folks do in the United States. The ones that decide not to evacuate and the storm is really bad and they think they can just ride it out, in the height of the storm, they're calling 911. Now, who's going to come out in the height of the storm to come and get you? But this is what these folks do, y'all. They do it every single hurricane. Oh, I'm not going to leave. Oh, I'm not going to leave. And then the storm is at its strongest, and they're picking up 911, asking somebody to come out there and get them. Never fails, happens every single hurricane. Okay, the National Hurricane Center kept raising the estimate of Laura. Storm surge from 10 feet just a couple of days ago to twice that size. The height that forecasters said would be especially deadly. Category 4 hurricane can cause damage so catastrophic that power outages may last for months in places, and wide areas could be uninhabitable for weeks or months. The threat of such devastation pose a new disaster relief challenge for a government already strained to deal with coronavirus pandemic. Yeah, it sure is. The resources are very strained in the US. Okay, so by Wednesday afternoon, Laura had maximum sustained winds at 140 miles per hour as it churned about 200 miles from Lake Charles. Now, I don't know. I read something this morning that this thing is 287 miles wide. I mean, this thing is massive, y'all. It's huge. And it's not unusual for them to be bigger than this. It was one year, I can't remember, but there was one that was almost close to 350 miles wide. These things are huge, huge, and they can span across several states. Just all of the outer band and the actual hurricane itself, it can span easily across a couple of states. And when the remnants break up, a lot of the remnants still have a lot of rain, retains a lot of rainwater, and even lightning strikes, tornadoes, heavy winds. So even when this thing breaks up, it's still very powerful. Okay, so forecasters predict winds will reach 145 miles per hour, but may weaken ever so slightly before landfall. Heed the advice of your local authorities. If they tell you to go, go. Your life depends on it today. Joel Klein, Tropical Program Coordinator at the National Weather Service. It's a serious day and you need to listen to them. On Twitter, President Donald Trump also urged coastal residents to heed local officials. Hurricane warnings were issued from San Luis Pass, Texas, to intracoastal city, Louisiana, and reach inland for 200 miles. Storm surge warnings were in effect from Freeport, Texas, to the mouth of the Mississippi River. In the largest U.S. evacuation during this pandemic era, more than 500,000 people were ordered to flee from their homes near the Texas Louisiana state line, including the Texas city of Beaumont, Galveston, and Port Arthur, and the low lying areas. So, I mean, damn. So, even parts of southwestern Louisiana were also told to evacuate. There were forecasters said storm surge topped waves and could submerge entire towns. So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, please be careful and, try to get to higher ground if you're able to do that. Um, and if you are alone, try to reach out to a family member or a friend that maybe is out of your area and won't be impacted so that somebody can at least check on you just in case. Even if you're fine, let them check on you and make sure you're fine anyway. It doesn't hurt because I know there are many people that live alone. So, if you're one of my subscribers, please reach out and let me know how you're doing, if you're okay, if you need help, anything. Please just reach out. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.